Good afternoon. My name is Janet Travers. I'm with the San Diego Writers and Editors Guild here to promote our anthology. Good luck with that. And we have another author here. His name is Ty Piz. He wrote one of the stories in the anthology, and he's going to talk to us about it. Actually, we'll start with that. What is the name of the short story you have published in the anthology?
Optimist?
The Optimist.
Yes.
How does that tie into good luck or bad luck or good luck with that? How did you make that work?
Well, it ties in because I was introduced to this cheerleader by a good friend of mine, and it progressed during a high school football game.
I'm gonna assume that's good luck and not bad luck.
Keep looking for the good things to happen.
Well, there you go. Is that what inspired you? I think you're leaning more towards good luck and not bad luck if you're saying the optimist.
Yes, always looking for the good to happen for sure.
You want people to read your story. However, is it a luck story? Would you say?
Yes.
Well, that's good. Do you remember the first story you ever wrote?
Story was about Francis Scott Key and the Star Spangled Banner. Yeah, that was the first one that I really embraced and was able to expand on.
Was that in
Uh,
grade school or high school?
Yeah, it was like in 4th grade.
Oh,
And
that's nice.
yeah, and so it just developed from there, and I started reading more books and being able to write my own story as I went along.
You wrote as you did sports simultaneously.
Afterwards, you can remember highlights and stuff, and then, the more you review it and rewrite it, then more scene comes in, and so you can write about the scene. And then you remember having conversations with people, so I can add in dialogue from there.
It's a story. You're adding dialogue, you're going with it. When did you join the San Diego Writers and Editors Guild?
It was about 14 years ago. I was living in San Diego at the time. I'd been there for, I don't know, 3.5 years. And I was in two other writing groups. One of the writing groups, there was like 7 of us. And each month we would print out a copy of one chapter of the book that we were writing. Then we would take them home and I would read 7 other people's chapter and give them feedback. Got back together, 7 other people would give me their input on my story. And that was just so good for me to help develop my story and hear other people's viewpoints.
Did you finish a book with that group?
That's the one that I'm really close to right now. I'm just in the final editing stages with that.
How long have you been working on it then?
28 years.
Oh, you win, ding, 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 you win the prize.
It started out as a how-to book, how to ride motorcycles, motorcycle techniques, because I have ridden for 55 years and raced professionally around the country. I taught motorcycle mechanics and I taught motorcycle riders how to get their licenses and stuff. So I wanted to give them all this input of how they could make their rides safer and ride better. Well, then some of the people that read it, they're like, Ty, you're writing in third person. Put yourself in there. So as soon as I did that, it just came alive. And then I realized it was memoir.
It's a really interesting thing. It's instructional and then more memoir. Do you write fiction also?
Sometimes I have a couple fiction stories that I'm working on, but this bigger project is kind of taken over. Actually, some of the stories I've chopped chapters down and they've been published in the anthology.
We've been in the anthology a few times.
I think I have like 12 or 13 stories in there throughout the years.
That's a lot of stories.
Yeah, it's been pretty good for me.
Do you go to the meetings?
Someone like to, yeah. I mean, because it makes me feel good because some of the people I used to write with in writing groups have got their books published and they're still members and they participate there. So it makes me feel like I'm still right there with them.
So the most important question is, do you like the Padres?
I'm kind of a Rockies fan, but that's okay.
I'm sure you're still loyal to a certain extent.
Yes, yes.
It's important to now. Let's ask some fun questions. Do you think someone could be a writer if they don't feel emotions strongly?
Maybe I can't. So I can't speak for other people, but I need to be involved in the situation. I can write about the sad times and bring out those emotions. I can write about the happiness that I experienced in that. So I think writing real life stories, it's like the emotions are the driving force.
Mm.
The men that have read my stories, they're like, Ty, I'm right there on the motorcycle with you. I feel it. I can hear the sound going through the corners.
Mm.
Ladies are like, Ty, tell us what's going on with your family at home. Tell us how you feel when you crash or you're gone for 2 weeks on the road. So then I had to learn how to write about the really hard facts of life.
Being separated from your family, you mean?
Yeah. Some of them would come on the road with me when they could break away.
Mm.
My brother, two of my daughters, I have three daughters, so a couple of them would go with me. But yes, being away from them and their activities was really hard. We've always talked about their life growing up around the motorcycle scene, and they said they loved it because they were like rock stars in the pit area,
Yeah.
because everybody would watch out for them and stuff, and it was really cool.
That's like fun. It sounds like fun for them.
Yeah, and they got pretty good mechanical skills. They could rebuild clutches. They could help me rebuild the top end, the pistons and stuff in the
I
motorcycle.
That's nothing. Just kidding. I don't know what a piston is. That's very unusual and cool, though. Well, you must have had some female motorcycle riders, all right?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I taught an all ladies motorcycle class at Faymeyer's Motorcycle World. And
Oh,
that was, yeah, it was really good. We had a aerial cameras taken, and the person was walking around with a video interviewing each one of the riders and stuff. And so they actually used it on their closed circuit TV inside the shop. So other riders could come in when they're buying bikes or they wanted to get involved in the new rider program. And yeah, they could see that.
did you self-publish this one book that you're writing for 28 years? And then you have all these other stories that were published in anthologies.
Yeah. My first book that I ever published was a soccer training manual. And I self published that one. I also coach youth soccer programs. I actually just got back from 2 weeks in Alaska and coached a soccer camp up there for the ninth year. So that's where I try to mostly market my book is through the soccer camps that I coach and the teams that I work with.
So, what does literary success look like to you?
For me now, after racing is done, I started to work for Jefferson County Public Schools, and I'm a paraeducator. I work with the special needs kids. So for a lot of them, it's really hard for them to get what's in their mind and put it inside of the Chromebook. So my job is to listen to them and I will take notes. I'm their scribe. So I put everything down and then we come back and as we talk about it together, they type it in their Chromebook. So for me, I get really jazzed when these kids can take this and stand up in front of the classroom and read it to their peers. Then we can print it out and they can take it home and show their parents. I've been doing this for 18 years now. Yeah, I work with high school age special needs kids.
So, your writing skills are helping with your job, but you're also doing a beautiful thing for some people.
I'm very blessed to be able to work with this population because not everybody can. We kind of see things the same on certain aspects. So I have a history in Qigong and meditation. So I work with the kids on when they start to get amped up, to help them do breathing and bring their bodies back down and be able to apply it to an activity.
When you have all that background training, then helping them write,
Yeah.
that's a beautiful circle. Do you
And
find it
like,
therapeutic for yourself?
yeah, when I first went to San Diego was just a few weeks after my wife passed away from kidney failure.
Oh,
And so I would go sit on the beach or go sit on the pier at Sunset Cliffs and just write for hours. And that really helped me get it out of my mind. Then I could take some of those. And one of the other writing groups was a 3-minute mic night. So I could actually stand up and read my short story to my peers. A lot of them would be crying and bawling right along with me because all those hard emotions were so raw.
mm.
It was just a chance to get it out and help me feel good about it. And I've actually published a couple of those stories as well.
What a healthy way to cope with your grief, right?
Yeah, very cool. Yes, indeed.
When you're finished writing, do you feel exhausted or exhilarated? Which one? Like both?
Both. Yeah, it depends on what story it is. There's so many emotional highs and lows when you rewrite and rewrite and rewrite, and you have to go through that same emotion and that same situation over and over again. And it's just like, "Oh, okay, now I feel good. It's complete. I don't have to look at it again and just know that I can share it with other people
Mm.
and get their feedback."
When you have to pause for a little bit, since you're athletic, do you go for a run or you walk and come back and feel better about it?
A lot of times I do. Like this morning, I went and swam for an hour and a half. Yeah, since I stopped racing and stopped playing competitive soccer and racquetball to aggressive sports, I went to more non-contact swimming.
Mm.
So that is very good for me. I can get out of the pool and go straight to the school because it's right across the street from where I work. So that works out really well. And then I can come back with a clear mind and get back into the story again.
It's also healthy. This is very refreshing to
Yeah,
hear. What
it
is
is.
your writing process? Do you have a certain time you start, a schedule, a routine?
I do not. I carry a little spiral notebook with me wherever I go. And if something comes to me during the day, I'll jot down a few words or a short sentence. And then there might be another one during the day. And by the end of the day, there's 5 or 6 short sentences. And so then I'll look at those at the end of the day and I'll notice that there's kind of a theme from the day. Well, and that becomes the title of that. And then I can go ahead and type it into the computer and write it up and edit it and everything and expand on that original idea.
So you're taking what you did during the day and putting it together. It's not 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock, blah, blah, blah.
It's nice because today and tomorrow are my last days of summer vacation
Uh,
because I get that 2.5 months off from summer break. And that's really nice. I can be a little bit more structured in my writing format. But once school starts, then it's just whatever comes to me, the inspirations. If my students are behaving themselves, because I work with the behavior students, then I can, because I take stories with me and I can sit in the classroom and go through and edit them.
mm,
That's really nice.
when you were in Alaska, did you take from your environment and
Oh, yeah. I've got a whole short story where I've put in my cousins, and my mom is 90. So we took my mom with us this year. And she got to celebrate being in Alaska with all the moose that came through the yard every day. And she would come out to the soccer field. And my sister came with us so that she could be with my mom throughout the day while I was in the camp. We've got pictures of her in a big rowboat that my cousin was taking her across the lake
oh,
while my sister and I were in kayaks. So, yes, I wrote a whole story about that.
that's lovely. Thinking about everything you've written, who is your favorite character and why?
My favorite character would be my good buddy, Rick McGaw, nicknamed Magoo. We grew up racing dirt bikes together. We're 1 year apart and we're both Sagittarius. So he was like my mentor because he was already a top professional racer, where I was just an amateur moving up through the ranks, hoping to someday make it to the expert level and then go on to pro. And so he was a mentor for me. Then, I don't know, we were probably in our early 20s, and he was in a violent accident on his motorcycle and got paralyzed. So he became a wheelchair pilot. So then, we would go to the gym and I would help him from one exercise equipment to the next one. He actually was strong enough to swim by himself. Then he started coming to the races with me. And so he would use his vision to give me input. So eventually we attached his hand controls to my van so he could drive. And he did a majority of the driving, going cross country. He became my crew chief. And so he's still very powerful in my heart. And
So you used him as a character in your story because I was
oh,
asking,
yeah.
is that one of your favorite characters that you've written about?
Yeah. Yeah. He's really cool.
That's good. About, did you have a lot of books growing up around your house? Did you read a lot as a child?
Yeah. Mom and dad, I mean, there was 6 of us kids. So they always inspired us to read and write. And like I said, the Star Spangled Banner was probably one that really kicked it off for me. Then we would have health books around and yoga books. Yeah, of course, the Bible, growing up with that. Tuesdays with Maury, that was a really powerful story for me. Love the way that Mitch writes that story. So much to learn in that. I read that after one of my very severe motorcycle crashes where I broke both arms and messed up my neck and leg and everything. So it was like the wisdom that he has in that story about, well, when we're kids, we need mom and dad, we need people to feed us and house us and give us food and everything. And then when we're old and fragile, we need people to house us and feed us and care for us.
Okay.
And he's like, well, the secret to life is we need people for everything in between. I mean, as independent as we think we are sometimes, we still need people for everything.
That's lovely. Any other favorite writers you have besides the guy who wrote Tuesdays?
Mark Twain's probably one of my favorites for sure. I used to listen to books on tape or CDs as they became and everything. But this one time I was listening to The Mighty Mississippi as I was driving through Atlanta, going to a motorcycle race. And so a lot of the places that he was talking about, I was driving through.
Oh,
And the way he describes being a boat captain, where they have to pre-run the river with somebody else for years to where they can learn where all these sandbars are, where they can get away from the turbulence and stuff. Well, that's what I do on the racetrack.
mm,
I pre-walk the tracks, I pre-run them. I get to where I know all of these corners by heart before I go out and race.
how do you feel about criticism that you receive on your writing?
Yeah, I embrace it because I don't think that I'm a Mark Twain or anything. I know that these other people have way more experience than I do. They can guide me how to make my story more readable. Because sometimes I might think it's completely full, this sentence, and it might just cut off because I know the whole story. So then they can help me fill in the gaps. Of course, when I first started with writers and helping me and stuff, I just took everything in that they gave me. And it's just like, okay, I've got to make these changes and these changes. And it's like, then I lost the original thought. So now I've learned to keep 2 copies of my story, the one that editors helped me build and my original idea. So I can reflect back on the original idea and that can help me generate more energy towards progressing with that story.
That's interesting. So you really do keep two separate
Yeah.
versions
Yep.
to remind yourself why you did it in the first place.
Right. Yeah. Because if that original idea gets lost, then it's like Well, yes, it's kind of my story, but it's like the heart of me kind of got lost in that and some of those changes. So I have to be real careful that I keep that original thought.
Right. So
And
that's really good.
thank you.
What do you think readers will take away from the story that is in the anthology?
I think they'll take away that if you just look at one little sliver of the world, it can be pretty negative and you can get drawn into that negativity. When I was 8 to 14 years old, I played on a little league football team. Obviously, one of the smallest kids on the team, while I became the quarterback for all those years. And my dad told me the name of this football team is the Optimists, and it's just the perfect name for you. And it's like, so that's kind of my attitude. It's like, I can be the littlest guy on the field and I can still work hard and accomplish my goals.
I hope you keep joining in on the Zooms and keep contributing to the anthology because it, you have a great track record. Little pun there because you're an athlete.
Oh, thank you. Like,
And the book's really good. The anthology is really good. And glad that you're a part of it.
yeah, thank you. I love being a part of it. And I already have my copies on order. So whenever they can ship them, they'll be here. So
Great.
if
Thank
you,
you. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, if you look up here, you can see all the other copies that I have from the first one, all 12 of them. So that's really cool.
I don't think there's another motorcycle racing dude that writes like you do. I mean, you're an anomaly.
Well, thank
Right.
you.
It made people must flip out. I mean, look at you. You had a lot of 28 years writing this particular book, but you have all these short stories published. It's amazing.
Well, I feel very fortunate that I've got to see almost every avenue of the motorcycle world from being a beginner mechanic to advancing up to where I'm working on customer equipment and putting out ATVs, four-wheelers, watercraft, snow machines as I live in Colorado. So all of these different dirt bikes, street bikes and stuff to actually working in the sales department to help sell things and then teaching mechanics in Arizona, teaching new riders. And I'm hoping that this is the next phase that I can just keep developing my writing skills based around motorcycles.
Well, good luck to you. You're a great guy. It was a pleasure talking to you. And
Oh, thank you, Janet. It was great to be with you.
we'll see you at a meeting.
Yes, that would be great.
All right. Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much. It was nice talking to you.
Nice to talk to you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.